Hi, dear friends. Now we are going to study or see how to calculate the quantity of material for concrete. So, welcome to this video. You can subscribe to my channel, that is Tech Civil HOD CSMSS, and you can like this video after watching complete video. In this particular video, we are going to see which material is going to be used in concrete and how the quantity of that material is to be calculated. So, how to calculate the quantity of material for concrete of mixed proportion 1 as to 2 as to 4. This mixed proportion is very important because the quantity of material is depends very much upon this mixed proportion, as the one part of cement, two part of the sand and four part of the aggregate is being used in this particular material, in this particular mixed proportion. So while going for any kind of the calculation of concrete quantity, then you can supposed to first of all consider this mixed proportion, and then only you can calculate the quantity of the material. So now while going for the calculation of the quantity of material, we are supposed to check which material is being used for the concreting. So generally we are using cement. In market, the 50 kg of bag we are getting, and that's why we have considered that 50 kg of bag is there, and this particular 50 kg of bag is nothing but having the volume of 0.035 cubic meter. So this 0.035 cubic meter volume is much important in calculation, so that's why I have shown over here. Then after cement we are using the aggregate. The aggregate are having of different sizes of 20 mm, 10 mm or down to 10 mm, but generally while going for the calculation we doesn't require the sizes of aggregate, and that's why I have mentioned here only aggregate. After this cement and aggregate we must require the fine sand, that is nothing but filler material. Nowadays the people are replacing this fine sand or natural sand by the artificial sand or crushed sand rather, we will say. So whatever this quantity we are supposed to mention it over here. So now for going for calculation of the quantity of material, let us assume some volume. So depends on that we can calculate the quantities. So in this particular video we have assumed the quantity of 10 cubic meter of the concrete. So we can say that for this particular 10 cubic meter of the concrete, these three particular materials are being used, which is cement, sand and aggregate. So now let us see how the calculation of this particular quantity of material is going on. Generally what we are considering is that this 10 cubic meter volume we have assumed, which is nothing but the ready concrete to cast or to place at the site. But again we knows that to get an ready concrete or to get an wet volume of the 10 cubic meter of the concrete, we must have some extra volume of the particular materials as a dry volume, because whenever we are adding the water to this dry volume, then the volume is getting reduced and we are supposed to get a 10 cubic meter of volume of the wet concrete. That's why we have added 52% extra to consider this volume as a dry volume, which can be calculated by as follows. So while going for any kind of the calculation of the quantity of material for concrete, we must add the volume of concrete by 52% extra volume to get the volume of the dry stage. So now we can see over here that the volume of dry material can be found out by the volume, whatever assumed volume was there, 10. That's why 10 plus 10 into 0.52, because 52% is supposed to be added. So that's why 10 plus 10 into 0.52. Whatever assumed value was there, that I have mentioned over here. And by this we got a value of 15.20 cubic meter. So I can say now that if you are supposed to get a volume of 10 cubic meter wet volume, then you are supposed to take 15.20 cubic meter of dry volume. So now we will see how to quantity of cement is to be find out. So that's why this formula I have used. Volume of cement is nothing but total volume, whatever dry volume we require, they are divided by summation of the mixed proportion. As we have used the mixed proportion of 1 as to 2 as to 4, so that's why I have divided the total volume, dry volume, that is 15.20, by the addition of the mixed proportion, that is 1 plus 2 plus 4. So if one is having some different mixed proportion and supposed to calculate the quantity, so he has to consider that particular mixed proportion summation over here, and he can find out the quantity of material accordingly. So as we are having 1 as to 2 as to 4 mixed proportion, so we have considered it 1 plus 2 plus 4. That will gives me the quantity of cement as 2.17 cubic meter. As we know that on site we are supposed to purchase the cement in number of the bags. That's why I am supposed to calculate the quantity of cement in terms of the bag. That's why first of all I should understand how much quantity of cement is being there in terms of the volume in one bag. That's why I have mentioned here that the one bag of cement contains 0.035 cubic meter of the volume. So by using this I can find out the number of the bag of the cement, which equals to the volume of cement we have calculated above divided by the volume of one bag, which is mentioned above. So 2.17 we are having volume of cement divided volume of one bag is 0.035, which will gives me the 62 numbers of the bag. It means that if I wanted to have the 10 cubic meter of the dry volume for casting at site, then I am supposed to have 62 numbers of the bag. Now we are going to calculate the volume of the sand. As from above mixed proportion we know that whatever cement volume was there, that is one part, so the twice of this one part was the sand, and that's why I have multiplied the volume of sand by 2 to get the volume of sand. So it will gives me the 4.34 cubic meter. Now we will find out the volume of the aggregate, where we can have again from formula that the aggregate is nothing but 4 times than the quantity of cement, and that's why I can use the particular formula, which is nothing but the volume of cement multiplied by the 4. So whatever mixed proportions are there, that has to be multiplied by over here. So I got an volume of aggregate, that is 4 multiplied by 2.17, that is nothing but 8.68 cubic meter. So likewise we can calculate the quantity of the materials, which is nothing but cement, sand and aggregate, and after calculation we can prepare a summary where we can show the quantity of material required for the 10 cubic meter concrete. Obviously we are supposed to show the mixed proportion over here, because as earlier we have seen, this mixed proportion plays a very important role in calculation of the quantity of material. So the quantity of cement for 10 cubic meter is nothing but 2.17 cubic meter, which is nothing but 63 numbers of the bag. The quantity of sand is nothing but 4.34 cubic meter, and quantity of aggregate is nothing but 8.68 cubic meter. So these all the materials, cement, sand, aggregate, which is mentioned over here, was given for the quantity of material for 10 cubic meter of the concrete, if you are using the mixed proportion of 1 as to 2 as to 4. If we are supposed to calculate the quantity for 1 cubic meter, because in generally we are having the quantities of concrete in estimate, the different volumes are there, and that's why we are supposed to find out the unit, the material required for a unit volume. So that's why I have find out the quantity of material for 1 cubic meter of the concrete for mixed proportion of 1 as to 2 as to 4. So quantity of cement for 1 cubic meter is nothing but 0.22 cubic meter, which is nothing but 6.3 bags. The quantity of sand is 0.43 cubic meter, and quantity of aggregate is nothing but 0.87 cubic meter. So accordingly we can have the quantities for 1 cubic meter and 10 cubic meter for our reference to place the orders or to purchase the material for particular quantity of concrete. So by watching this video, like the video and also subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to put your valuable comments to upgrade the videos or to add the videos. So thank you very much for watching my video. Thanks a lot.